What's up, UTU Trust Guardians? Welcome to another episode of the UTU Trust Guardian interview series. Here's where we chat with team members, investors, partners, and general supporters of UTU to learn more about their backgrounds, why they believe in UTU, and how they're helping to increase trust across the internet. Today, we are speaking with an UTU partner. We're here with Xiaohan Zhu, founder and CEO of Meter, whom we partnered with in May. Hey, Xiaohan.
Hey,
Um,
Mike.
Meter is a blockchain protocol that takes Ethereum to the next level by enabling scalable and interoperable dapps with the safety and security of full decentralization. If you didn't know, I used to lead marketing at Meter, so I've worked very closely with Xiaohan. He is a big brain. He has the perfect background for what he's building, and we're going to learn more about him, what Meter is, how Meter and UTU have and will continue to work together, and much more. Xiaohan, welcome. Thanks for coming on the show. How are things going?
Hey, Mike. Really appreciate for the invitation. It's my great pleasure to come to the Udo community.
Of course.
Yeah, I just came back from the Miami Bitcoin conference. There
Yes.
were a
How was
lot of
that?
people. Yeah, so I think it's definitely there's a lot of like enthusiasm in the space, and we just hope things can maintain the momentum moving forward. Yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't make it, but I was following some of the stuff on Twitter and seemed like a very, enthusiastic crowd there, pretty much taking over.
Without wearing masks. So it's a little bit dangerous as well.
Yeah.
Just like the entire crypto space, people are like
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah.
wild.
So very cool. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, hope to make it to future Bitcoin conferences. But yeah, I think it's only the enthusiasm, like you said, it's only growing, and we're it's such an interesting space. But yeah, I think we're getting into that mainstream, right? We're getting some news coverage, and I
Yeah,
think
like official currency for El Salvador.
yeah, that's amazing stuff, right? And then now like Paraguay is coming on. There's so many of
Yeah.
those Central and South American countries coming on that
Mhm.
like yeah, it's just it's really exciting to be in this space.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed that trip. So let's start by learning about more about your background, both on a personal and professional level.
Yeah. So I describe myself as a like engineer with finance background. The first like 15 years of my career are all in engineering.
Hmm.
So I was at Microsoft, Sony, Motorola, and startups doing pure R&D stuff. And during the last financial crisis back in 2008, I got my MBA from Wharton. And afterwards, I started to shift gear to more into like strategy, marketing, and investment. In 2016, I raised like a small VC fund
Hmm.
called ZMT Capital. At that time, one of our investment focuses was fintech and blockchain. So that's how I got into the space. Um, so at that time, for example, we invested in like Ion, Brave, and later they started issuing coins, and we started investing in coins as well. Um, in 2018, after we deployed the first fund, I just feel like hey, crypto is I believe is a mega trend, and in such a mega trend, as a builder at heart, I would rather to make the history instead of like investing other people's money. So that's when I started to decided to focus fully on building like Meter.io, and that's where the journey started. Yeah.
Yeah, as I was saying, before we jump into more about what Meter is, just a little tease on that combination of the engineering background plus the finance. Like I said, it's just such a great combination for what you're building at Meter. So tell us.
Um, it's also dangerous because I mean, like, we have a little bit different views, so people may or may not agree with that view. So, like, yeah,
Yeah, so we'll that's a that's a great. I mean, it's that's kind of what you have to have to build something very disruptive, right? So tell us more about those views and how that feeds into what Meter is, how it's different, why it's great, and how what are some of those views that led you to start Meter?
yeah. So at Meter, we're trying to do three things. The first thing is we created a proof of work based meta stable coin. So trying to complete Satoshi's original vision of like a sound money independent of the fiat system.
Yep.
The second thing is we actually created like a Ethereum scaling solution because we're down there like changing the consensus and economic game design of the crypto. We realized that actually we can solve the consensus problem very well by introducing the new game design and new consensus. And finally, because we have a heterogeneous blockchain inside Meter, so we're actually solving interoperability's problem already. So we're extending that to like providing interoperability to heterogeneous blockchain as well. So that's the three things we're trying to do.
Okay, definitely want to get in more into the interoperability, obviously in the way that we've worked together. But
Yeah.
yeah, how are those all three related to each other in terms of how things work together with Meter? Give us a little bit more of, it seems like you've got those three missions, but tell us a little bit more how the system works,
Mhm.
and what some of the differentiators of Meter are.
Sure. Yeah, so like if you look at all existing cryptocurrencies, people are mixing currency creation with record keeping. So like the newly created cryptocurrency are like the incentives for miners or like validators to like protecting the ledger. But fundamentally, these are like there are two actual like consensus in the system. The first consensus is the record keeping consensus to prevent double spending.
Mhm.
That's what the Satoshi's original paper was talking about. It's all how to prevent double spending. But there's another like consensus that's implicit, um, and people often like didn't pay attention to it. That's economic consensus. So what's the value of the newly created currency and how much value has to be added in the system?
Right.
So that is done in a proof of work system by proof of work miners. And in a proof of stake system, there's actually no such consensus going on. So the developer typically just throw out an inflation number, a random number, and people just go with it. So in Meter, we realize there are like actually two separate problems and try to address the two consensus separately. So we use proof of work, which links the physical world's value with the crypto world to create the value consensus to create that meta stable currency. And we use a proof of stake with the MTRG governance token to do record keeping. So just like in the physical world, the miners for gold were always different group of people than bankers and accountants, right? So
Mhm.
why not? Why mixing them together? So that's a concept in Meter. So we have a hybrid system, like all the record keeping, all the like security of ledger was maintained by proof of stake, and the stable currency is created by proof of work. So that's a high level concept. And in terms of like interoperability, because we already have like two chains in the system
Yeah.
and they have to talk to each other. So that's when we started looking at interoperability problem. And also the more we look at it, the more we kind of feel the evolution of blockchain is actually resembles the evolution of the internet. So if you look at how network are evolved, initially there's only like a local area network, like LAN.
Mhm.
Like Ethereum, you can think it as like a Ethernet. It's basically like a one single network, and
Right.
applications can only run on that network.
One silo,
And it's
right.
a broadcast model. So very quickly, it's going to be saturated, no matter how high performance that blockchain is. And then there's like back in the 90s, there's something called ATM network. So it's like a proprietary network protocol, um, very high performance, very fast. But people at that time think they are the future of how network is going to evolve. But because it's everyone have to change their standard to
Right.
adapt to the new, ATM network standard,
Yeah.
it evolves very slowly. I think it actually resembles like how Cosmos and Polkadot is attacking the world. So you have to follow their standard in order to talk to each other. But if you realize how internet goes, like routers and IPs basically connected heterogeneous network, people do not have to change their behavior, their what they used to, and like the routers and IP network can just connect them together. So that's what we kind of like feel how blockchain network would evolve in the future as well. So heterogeneous network will connecting together, and there's not going to be just one single blockchain that's going to like connect everything, but it's going to be like a lot of different networks. They can all talk to each other, work with each other, and the communities can just like freely like flow to each other. So that's what we envision. Just like we don't believe there's going to be like one single country for the entire like human civilization, right? So there's always going to be clusters of communities, but you need to have something to help them to communicate and exchange
Right.
values and information. Yeah. So that's why we started working on this interoperability issue.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you were natively multi-chain already, the way you designed your economic system from the very beginning,
Yeah.
right?
So right now, like for example, like this is just within Meter, right? When we design the chain, but
Mhm.
like after we finish everything on the white paper, we started this Meter passport project.
Yep.
Essentially, it's you can envision as a as N by N router connecting different blockchains. So we started with Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, and Meter, and we will soon add like a couple of other like a major network that have a lot of users and traffic to help assets and also information to free flow like among blockchains.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so actually let's segue that into
Mhm.
how we have worked together and we'll continue to work together. So talk a little bit about the partnership between UTU and Meter and what we've done and what we're going to do.
Yeah, so first, obviously, people, I mean, in the community already have experienced like moving UTU token from Ethereum to BSC.
That's right. Yep.
There are some like initial glitches, but like everything should be like all ironed out right now. Um, so hopefully, like the UTU users can enjoy the liquidity and the low fees trading on BSC. And moving into the future, we're looking to closely work with the UTU team on the UTU like trust solutions, right? Because Meter is like a new ecosystem, and we're looking at to build like lending and like even I mean like collateralized or non-collateralized lending
Yep.
facilities. Actually, I've been talking with you like in the early days of Meter. We're looking at like providing like open finance type of lending solution to like the crowd as well. And it's great to see like UTU team start executing on that direction. And we'd love to build the applications together with a UTU team on the Meter network. And yeah, that's what we're looking forward to work closely with the UTU team. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, me and you have been talking about this stuff from the very beginning when we worked together,
Yeah.
on marketing on Meter, and this is even before mainnet for Meter was launched, which is last July,
Earlier last year. Yeah.
yeah, about a year ago, and yeah, it's kind of come full circle in the sense that some of the things we're talking about are hopefully some of the things that where at UTU we're going to build to help you achieve that. And so yeah, super exciting to be able to do that. And yeah, like our creditworthiness API, at least today is June 10th when we're recording this video. We are very close to launching that in the open. And yeah, we'll certainly look to deploy that on Meter and many other chains. And going back to the whole cross chain initiative that you've built. Like you said, a lot of the community, we already know that you've used Meter Passport to bridge UTU from Ethereum to BSC and back. And certainly looking forward to working together on, because we too have a cross chain vision. We partnered with um, a lot of other layer one blockchains to be able to launch UTU coin and our trust infrastructure and just be able to move that information freely. So certainly you're at the forefront of building the infrastructure to be able to achieve that. So we're completely very excited, looking forward to working together on pushing that forward as well. You
Yeah,
talked a little bit
definitely.
about
Mhm.
what you've built. What's on your roadmap for the next few months?
Oh, the next couple of months, we're like connecting with several like major chains. For example, like the next one maybe like Matic, the Huobi, and OKEX, and we're actually gonna like work very closely with some of the ecosystems in the Polkadot system, and we'll help them to grow quickly as they launch. Um, and the with like the more chains launching and the more infrastructure we provide, the next phase is actually to like one is grow the Meter ecosystem itself. So we're looking at launching the Meter swap liquidity mining on Meter. So at that time, yeah, maybe like if the Wutu team is ready, like you guys can like create a pair on the Meter swap as well.
Yeah,
And we're also looking at like synthetic projects, I mean, synthetic assets to help provide the cross-chain liquidity. So that project we're looking to launch late summer timeframe.
mhm.
And towards the end of the year, we're gonna have like a very decentralized like router type of solution. So if you look at our current passport, Meter passport, it will be run by like 5 relayers, all highly reputable service providers in the industry. But it's still kind of small. But in order to expand that, we have to do some technical change. Otherwise, the cost on the target chain, the gas will be like much higher. So one of the focus and for the rest of the year is to like reduce the cost on the target chains and also have unlimited number of relayers to participate to enhance the security. So that's what we'll be focusing on in the next couple of months.
Awesome. So you're building a lot of products on top of Meter, but you also recently announced the grant program to help subsidize
Yeah,
developers who are built on Meter as well, right?
yeah. So we launched a $10 million grant program. So to help to bootstrap the applications developing Meter and Meter Passport. So we got some initial grant like already for like, for example, Chainlink graph integration
Mhm.
into like Meter. And yeah, more will be given out as we move forward. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that sounds great. It sounds like there's a ton of activity happening on your chain, and I think like I said, interoperability. I think we share that vision very much so, and you're right in the middle of it all. So we are very excited to have worked with you on Passport and getting U2 coin on BSC. And we are super excited to build with you in the future, launching our trust infrastructure and working together on liquidity and on your exchanges and everything else that comes with that. So, all
Yeah,
right,
very excited and looking forward to work closely with the Wutu team. Yeah.
yeah, same here. All right, so let's move on to the quickfire questions, where
Mhm.
I'll ask you three unique questions in succession to learn more about you. All right, first one is tell us something unique and interesting about you that not many people may know.
Oh, about myself.
Yeah.
Uh, so, uh, because initially I was thinking this question maybe like about like the project I'm working on.
Oh no, we want to know about Xiaohan. Like
Okay.
we know what you're building. We know, you've got this great background, but like what's something that like people, the internet just doesn't really know about you, a unique fact.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, I think I can call myself a real builder, because other than like building like programs and like technology, I also build houses. I build my own house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's
That's
just
awesome.
like as an engineer, like I couldn't bear like other people like making mistakes, making the
Okay,
trade-offs that I don't like. So I actually built my own house.
okay,
I
wait.
didn't hire a general contractor. Like I like just did everything, subbed out everything, like did the design, everything. Yeah.
Okay, so you designed your house.
Yeah.
You okay, but did you hire? Did you were you actually
Oh
handling?
no, of course. I mean, I'm not doing all the like
Right,
labor work, but like
right.
I subbed out everything. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like, how did you learn how to like design the house yourself?
It's actually just learning on the fly. Yeah. So I mean, it was a fun process.
That's very. How long did that take you?
Like a little bit more than a year, because I mean,
Okay,
like the design approval process take
okay,
some time
awesome,
in California.
very cool. All right, if you can chat with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and
Mhm.
why?
I think that would be interesting to chat with John Nash, because like we actually were inspired by like one of his sayings. Like what he mentioned was like if you look at money itself, it's scientifically, it's actually a way of measurement, just like a degree of temperature, uh, like or like a meter of measuring the length.
Mhm.
So that's a very good insight, and like also he is the inventor of the game theory, right? So
Yeah,
we love to uh, chat and inspire him. I mean, like learn from him, but unfortunately, yeah, he's already passed away. Yeah.
yeah. He's done so much. It's just such abstract thinking. The way that he thought. That yeah, really influences a lot. A
Yeah,
lot.
when he was alive, people think he was crazy. So
Yeah, no, I mean,
yeah,
you saw the movie A Beautiful Mind, right? Like
yeah,
everyone just kind of thought that he's writing stuff on the windows, and just the way his mind works is pretty unique.
yeah.
All right, last question. What is something that you believe but few
Mhm.
others agree with?
Yeah. It's probably related to crypto as well. So I believe Bitcoin as its current state, um, it will have to change its like consensus design after a couple of years in order to survive. Because as the block reward goes down and down,
Right,
like there's very little more, less and less incentive for the miners to maintain the ledger. Transaction fees may not be secure enough.
right.
But obviously, like a lot of people doesn't agree with this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think the maxis might come after you a little bit.
yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I know. That will be a very interesting time when yeah, when
Yeah,
those
I
three
actually believe they have to change to something like Meter, but we'll see.
yeah, when we will see whether the transaction fees can are large enough to be able to secure the system. Yeah, that's I think a lot of people are watching that.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
So
happens.
unless they charge like extremely high fee for transactions, because
Right,
I mean they don't want to like increase the capacity either, right? So
right. Don't want to increase that. Go back to that block size
yeah.
debate. It's never fun. So, all right, Xiaohan, that's all we have. Thanks
Mhm.
so much for taking part in this Trust Guardian interview and
Yeah. Thanks a
telling us.
lot for inviting me. Really
Yeah,
a great
sure. And
pleasure.
I think
Yeah.
we learned that you maybe if someone needs a house design, if you're not too busy growing meat, you can
It's probably
talk.
the next 10 years, I guess.
So, all right. So tell us
Yeah.
where the Utu community can learn more about Meter.
Yeah, so you can find us on meter.io. So we have our social network link there. Yeah, love to have more people joining the community.
Awesome. All right. But again, thanks for coming on the show. Like you said, we are really excited to work together and just realize this cross chain environment that we all know is inevitable, and looking forward to building on the Meteor network. So, all right, Trust Guardians, hope you enjoyed that interview with Xiaohan. Please hit that like button if you did. There will be more interviews to come, so make sure you hit those subscribe and notification buttons so you don't miss them in the future. Thanks so much for tuning in to UTU Trust Guardian interviews, and we'll see you soon. And thanks again, Xiaohan.
Thank you, Mike.